All right, hey, so let's do this. Over the last couple of vlogs, I've been talking about songwriting and working on some music for a new project. And so this is the project right here. This one's the Kuah Campur project. This is number two. I actually have a first version of this. Now, the first Kuah Campur was basically based around a couple of, I want to say outsider punk bands. Um, like Ting Tong Cats, we had Shdiam, we had Ayam Hitam, and myself. So we all different kinds of punk. We had the queer punk, we had the trans, trans punks they would like to call it. We had the more, um, uh, hardcore punk, and then folk punk. The different kinds of punk rock. For this one, I went into my friends list and looked for people who are still doing music. Um, there are lots of new kids doing music at the moment, which I quite like. But I also kept an eye out for folks who have been doing music consistently. So what I did is I reached out to some of these guys who seem to take music as a fun thing to do, and I contacted them and asked them whether they would like to do a compilation together. Now here's the thing: this compilation is not under any label. So what it is a collaborative effort. Different musicians contribute songs, and this is promoted together. Um, of course, the I get the curator credit, which is kind of great. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the different tracks on this thing. But I'm liking this kind of projects, and I want to do more of this. Maybe Kuah Campur 3, um, just to see what else is out there. It's nice to go to shows at certain places and see what people are producing. But over the years, I tend to find that different places or different venues tend to produce the same sort of kind of music, which for a while was a little bit frustrating. If it was a rock venue, it'd be more rock music. If it was a punk venue, it'd be more punk music. And if it was like an indie show, you'd expect there to be a variety, but it's almost more or less the same. Very few interesting projects out there. Um, and also to add to this, I think some of these musicians on this compilation, personally, I think deserves a listen, right? So that's pretty much it. So yeah, so let's talk about this. Is Kuah Campur 2. Um, so let's talk about the cover now. The cover is if you've been in KL for any amounts of time, this is a scene from a Slango Mansion, where it's one of my favorite places actually to eat. And I've been going there for the longest time. If you were in the local scene, this was the place you go you know, to eat at some point, after gigs and stuff like that. It's in the Masjid India part of town. If you haven't, you can go check it out. So took some pictures, and the whole design of this comes from there. Also, let's talk about the name. Kuah Campur basically means when you go and order some food, especially if it's like a roti or some rice, or what you do is or even to some Chinese food as well. You ask the person to mix all the curries or all the different gravies, and you get this nice mix. And whenever somebody orders a Kuah Campur, right, the owner of the eatery knows just to mix everything he's got. So it's depending on the different place you go, not only is it difficult to get a particular kind of a consistent flavor when it comes to a certain kind of gravy, but because it's all mixed up, each place has its own little alchemy of flavor, right? And that's why I choose Kuah Campur as the name for the compilation, because hopefully the variety in the music that you're gonna get is different enough that hopefully you have a palate cleanse, or you have a different kinds of flavors incorporated into your palate lah, basically. So yeah, so this has 10 tracks, and we've got like five different acts. And I want to talk about them very 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 simply, if I can, very a little bit, if you don't mind. So the first act I want to talk about is Redo. I've known Redo for not not very long time. I think a couple of years. I think, and he plays for the band Ayam Hitam. Like here's the thing though. I've been keeping an eye on the guy, and he seems to enjoy, doing this whole acoustic thing on his own, which I thought was kind of good. Because Ayam Hitam, is still an active band, and to have one of your members doing something that's solo, I thought was pretty good. Um, and he's also the bassist, so I think it's very rare that the bassist is the one. So that was really interesting. So I approached Redo and asked him whether he would, and he did. And it's the two songs on this record. Is more, he calls it acoustic punk, which okay, yeah, I'll take that. It's acoustic punk. It's nice. It's in your face. It's direct. It's very how should it's very street level songwriting, which I thought it's nice. It's great. I mean, compared to the other stuff in this album, it's the kind of raw stuff that I definitely am happy is in the album. Then we have Ajim. I've known Ajim again now for, oh my god, I think more than 10 years. And Ajim plays for he used to play for a band called Juxtapose. It's a grunge band with his brother. But he's these days he's more of an he's given more of his time to art. So I constantly see him at art exhibitions, and he's definitely moved pretty much away from doing music to doing more art. But I also found out that he was still writing music, and then he was trying to gel that gap between art and music. So I reached out to him and asked him whether he wanted to like contribute some music, and he did. In fact, some of the music he's contributed were actually, how should I say, sketches for new projects. So it's great because now the CD actually has some a rarities vibe to it. So you got tracks in here you should probably not going to get in any other release. The third act is Perkakas. Um, I lost contact with Boy. Boy plays for Perkakas. Now, Boy, in case you're not so, in case you don't remember, played used to play for this band called Lime, and Lime was quite the underground darlings back in the day. Uh, but Boy disappeared in from my radar at least, until I think about a few months ago when for some reason I didn't know what his real name was until he added me, and I was like, who is this guy, right? And yeah, it turns out it was Boy who used to play bass for uh, um, Lime. So we reconnected, and he was doing something else, something really different. He he's taken his musical journey into a more of an art project. So what you're gonna get from this compilation is basically what he calls an art project, right? So it's not just the music. He actually contributed uh, um, video as well to this CD, which I told him, no, you can't, man, because everybody else has got just MP3s, right? Or wave files. So he says, yeah, okay, fine, but he insists that it's better to experience the whole project as a video project. He's definitely taken his um, his musical journey, you know, somewhere else as well, which I thought was really really great. And it was nice to reconnect as well because I think everybody in Lime actually had something about them which I thought was like really really good, and it's really nice that again another bass player decided to push off and put together an outfit called Prakaka. So I don't know how much shows they're gonna get, but I think Prakakas is definitely a band to look out for. And then the next band I want to talk about is Angkasa. Now Angkasa is basically I want to call it minimalist electronic. I'm not so sure what exactly they call it, but actually Elvin, who used to play for a band called Kelp, and Kelp was back in the day was a new metal band, and I asked him what it was. Now he gave me a description which I'm not going to use. Uh, Suffice to say that it's nice soundscapes uh, with a bass, uh, uh, based deep in electronics and sampling, which I thought was interesting, and interesting enough to put on the record. Simply because I didn't think Alvin was gonna take this route. Now he has put together an outfit called Angkasa, and this outfit is the one that is releasing these two songs, which are on the record. Like I've known Alvin for a very very long time as well. Again, more than 10 years. So all of these guys, I think it's really great because it feels like some folks which I have not spoken to, I'm not hung out with for a long time, and they all still do music, which I think is really very important. They're not rehashing their old stuff, but they're venturing off to something totally new. Finally, let's talk about me. The fifth artist on this record is myself, and in this one, again, the journey to write songs in Malay carries on. For me, this is a different step. I never thought I would be doing just music in Malay, and in this record is I actually have one which is like completely in Malay, right? So usually I'll try to incorporate some English, an English bridge or something like that. But this one I decided to go for something different. The um, the difficulty in this one is basically I'm using just one guitar, so it's an attempt to write pop music just using one guitar. So it's extremely minimal. It's not for everybody. It's very stripped down. Um, but I'm glad the two songs I've got on this one made me try different things on songwriting. Basically, uh, looking at what I've done and then going back 3 or 4 times and having a look at it. So yeah, so that's basically the 5 acts that are on the record. I'm really really happy to release this together with the rest of the guys. It's a nice project, and I'm really glad it's out. So if you haven't, just contact any of the guys, and they'll probably sell you a copy. Buy a physical copy because what's really great. Let me show you what's inside. In case you're curious what's inside. So we've got artwork, right? So I've asked each act to give me some artwork. So each of them, contributed to the inlay, as you can see, right? And of course, with most of my products, they're all stuff that I curate or I release. There's a little bit of mission statement here to know what it's all about. It's also done in black and white because costs and stuff like that. It's also a nice look because if you do anything in color, right, some guys' color may be better than other guys' color. Black and white, it's the great leveler, And then this is the CD. So what it is it's a flatbread or roti canai, or if you're in Singapore, roti prata. And if you remove the CD, which is actually there's an empty plate. I thought it was really cool. You put the roti canai back onto the plate. So yeah, that's the design. And back here is it's a stack of like roti pratas and stuff like that. And that's the design, which I thought is like kind of neat, which I was very happy to do. So yeah, so that's pretty much what the CD looks like. If you get it, it was a fun thing to do. I'm glad it's out. Let me just put this back here again. If you're curious, all of the acts are out doing music and releasing stuff. So I won't be surprised if all of them have full length releases later, either later 2024 or whenever. Now, just to be very 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 clear, we had a long list of people I've asked to contribute music, but we understand that because of certain problems and because of certain issues, not many people can contribute, but we've asked quite a few people to do this, but I'm really also very glad that we had this 5. So that's pretty much it. That's Kuah Campur #2, and this is the project I've been working on over the last I want to say 2 years. It took that long. It took that long to get this whole thing together because I wanted to get a yearly Kuah Campur out, but this project took a very long time. And I want to say thank you to Ajim and Redo and Boy and Elvin for being very very patient, because the process of doing this took a very long time, and none gave me any hassle or any problem. So thanks guys, thanks very much. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Kuah Campur 2, go and get it.